Big Taxi makes a return as an Affliction Warlock. We actually got a triple Warlock team over on Team 1. We got Australia over as Affliction as well, and Lucifer's the Demonology. You know, do Warlocks even play differently anymore? Normally we're like, you know what, you can't have a 3 of the same class. Except for Warlocks, because people like seeing Demonology, Destruction, Affliction, and sometimes they play differently. But do they play differently anymore? Isn't it basically the same playstyle of put dots or pets or chaos bolts into their faces, and then AFK out with all the... I gotta rethink that at some point. Maybe we'll limit back to like only 2 Warlocks per team in the future. Depending on how this team goes. Witcher is gonna be next. Wait, do you look... Oh, if only he looked like Garrett. If only he looked like Witcher, man. If only he looked like Geralt. My goodness, I almost called him Garrett, so I stopped myself there. I was like, wait a second, I played the game, so how am I getting that wrong? Witcher is gonna get dotted up though, with Taxi backing up out of the drain. I think this warrior just might die to the dots. Try to go for Rage Regen, Flesh Cut, Taxi, unless he can get an interrupt around the corner. It's gonna be quick charred by Witcher. Is gonna be able to get himself a quick Bloodthirst in there. I say no to Warlocks. They sort of play differently. One gives everyone COVID, and the other sends a zoo at you. Well, there's only one more with the Warlock bolts, but I guess so. Yeah, maybe in the future we'll be like, you know what? 3 Warlocks, they play very similarly nowadays. So let's keep it down to 2. We'll let this game play because I missed Taxi. We didn't see him last week whatsoever. Preferential streamer treatment, am I right? Reflect up for Witcher. Looks at Taxi, is going to get some sort of dot back on himself. Ramp it up with his dots. Soul Rot to follow. Potentially big damage. Looks like the warrior is going to back up out of there. All those dots are rolling. That's going to be the Dark Lair empowering all those dots. Wait, Witcher is just melting back here. The Dark Lair empowered all those dots unless the Dark Lair walks over. I think this man is just dead. This is Affliction Warlock gameplay, boys. I don't think Affliction Warlocks could do that last expansion. So I kind of missed this. Because that's what Warlocks used to be able to do. Put dots on you, and you would just try to deny those dots in the first place. It was like with Warlocks Destro, don't let him Chaos Bolt. Warlocks with Demonology, don't let him summon big pets. With Affliction, don't let him put a dot on you to begin with. Fast is going to be up next. Trying to go for a Flesh Kick, going to be neutral, but tags you, but the Axe Toss comes down, axing him down. Fast potentially could drop down a Fell Lord on him. Looks like actually no, he was interrupted, so he couldn't do any of those things. How long does a Warlock interrupt last? Like 8 seconds? No, he's playing the result chicken, so I think that interrupt does last longer. I think the result chicken makes that interrupt last longer. It's going to be Mordecai almost sent to Taxi, but he was able to immune it, I guess, with his own result chicken. Going to get the dots on all these pets. That's going to be a big drain since he's able to put Agonies on all these pet playstyles. Banish onto that Tyrant. Second stun by the Wrath Guard. After the first stun with the Fell Guard. The Summon Fell Guard. Fast will continue to blast out at Taxi. Taxi with the Dark Pact has himself a full setup. It's going to be UA getting set up. Potentially the biggest dot damage. Soul Rot onto Fassel. Does get himself full haze buff. Hoping for that Dark Glare. If you can get the Dark Glare to proc anytime now, Dark Glare's up. Is going to empower that Dark Glare. Fassel is just going to start eating that pain back there. Could Wallet, could maybe Flesh Cut. I don't know what he's got going working over there. But he's got all those dots running him down. Does get the Necrolord Slime Shield to protect him for just a mere second. As Taxi pokes out around the corner, going to be Mordecai sending him out. Mordecai lasts for quite a while with that result trigger on, yeah. Decimate Bolt getting loaded up. That's going to be a full interrupt. Looks like it is a very long interrupt from the Fassel. The result trigger does really make you get punished for like the first interrupt or the first stun. Really punishes you. But it's going to be Fassel. Still got a low on health. Mordecai again instead. Oh. Mordecai. Wall getting set up. Obelisk down. Has the dots finally fall off of him. And that's going to be his pets rotted down. Fassel is just trying to see if he can get out of there. Oh no, pet isn't rotted? Oh, now it is. I was going to say it's just a matter of time. I think it might be lights out for Fassel unless he has a Mordecai. Looks like he got some kind of dot on him. I think it's over. Wait a second. No, it is. No. Ah. Okay, that just feels like cheating at this point. You literally put dots on him, chase it after you, and you just melt to the dots. What can you do in that situation? Mordecai? Oh, Mordecai. Everything is a Mordecai, dude. I'm literally calling everything is a Mordecai. A-bomb limb for Jesus, but I poured out for Tags. Trying to get some dots on these pets. He's going to go for a gate. We're trying to maximize range versus the Death Knight. Going to be an interrupt by Taxi around the corner versus Jesus as he's trying to get himself a Flash Cut rolling. And Taxi loading up full of dots, but it's going to be a big go. That's going to be juke on that kick. Wait, AMS. Taxi needs to wait out the AMS. And then try to do the damage inside of that kick. Try to go for the full Soul Rod. It's going to get the pest dotted up. It's going to be Death Blow to Jesus. Potential lots of damage. Dark Glare with oh my god. My goodness. Does this man get his tear sword or something? I don't understand. Oh my god. Jesus. And it's going to be swapping out the pet for Kiosko. Actually going to go for the Succubus playstyle. I think he's just going to go for the Succubus whenever Kiosko goes in for big CC. He just wants to have a way to deal with him for a second, but he's going to eventually sacrifice the pet. Stun into Tagsy, does to himself a Dark Pact. Could potentially be the pet going for that Succubus CC as Kiosko engages. Tagsy might need to back up out of there completely. That's going to be a port. Kiosko looking to chase after him as best as possible. Got himself the tar trap on the pets. Drained by Tagsy. Needs to make sure there's a dot on Kiosko and the pet at all times. For Tagsy, this might be the hardest matchup because Survival Hunters can just remove those dots off them without any issues, just with a single faint death. And maybe that's what Tagsy is playing with the Incubus pet. Maybe that's why he swapped. So he has always something that can keep Kiosko in combat. They can keep damage on Kiosko even when the dots fall off. And that's maybe the plan. Maybe that's the idea. As the pet is getting around the corner, freezing trap on the pet. Kiosko potentially looking for a reset, swapping out to another pet. It's a hippo. He swapped out to a big old hippo. Why does that thing look so cute? What is that? Is that thing from WoD? Must be. Mortal Coil into Kiosko. Getting hit with a UA. Is that going to be still pet CC? No, it's still going to be a pet swinging around the corner for Kiosko with that Incubus trying to do the best it can. This is going to put a slow into Kiosko and eventually make Kiosko take more damage from the Incubus. Quick, Shadow Mode or Camo for Kiosko, but it's unable to really get a lot of healing since Tagsy is making sure. I'm getting those two names wrong, Kiosko and Tagsy. I'm interchanging them as if they're the same person. But, I mean, they're both dot-oriented and both human females. So, going to be quick muzzle to Tagsy is trying to go for a bit of a fear. Kiosko continue to put the pressure on him. It's going to be a resolve trick and letting Tagsy get a bit of casting. Kiosko drop it down and freezing trap onto Tagsy just to get a stun. Going to be human Rachel. But Tagsy finally getting full dots into Kiosko. Does he have the biggest go possible? Death blow to Kiosko. Flash cap does not have a feign death. That's going to be pet empowered. Kiosko needs a feign death immediately. Those archers just rampaging right through him. Drain left to follow. Does get himself a feign death the last second, but it's low health. That's going to be a freezing trap as Tagsy goes to port on top of it. The pet should probably swing around the corner. Maybe get Kiosko back into combat. There goes the Incubus. The Dark Blade joins in as well. Looks like kind of dot is up on the Kiosko. Definitely needs to go feign death. I think maybe Tagsy has him here. Feign death for a second. Removing dots the last second. Tagsy needs to get some sort of dots on him. And it's going to set Kiosko over the edge. Drain. Does he get him right here? I think it's going to be over. Potentially one more hit. One more tick. Oh, and does take him out last time. Tagsy played against Survival Hunter. It was basically impossible. Residual going to be up next, swinging around towards Tagsy. Is Tagsy going for a 1v5? Result trinket going to be the Succubus Incubus CC. It's just like, oh, I like the new Incubus model. Mortal Coil getting sent out to Residual, trying to get the rogue away. Gonna be the sacrifice of the pet. Residual going for a massive grapple over towards Tagsy. Honestly, for Tagsy versus Rogue, might not be a bad idea to play the Voidwalker and sacrifice that. Actually, as the rogue goes for a Shadow Meld, that's going to be the Incubus set up in order to get that Incubus CC onto Residual. I think he's trying to get him set up here. That's going to be Kidney Shot. It's going to result Trinket stopping him. Residual, though, getting Incubus seduced. Trinket's out of it just to get a big pistol shot versus Tagsy. Tagsy should have some cooldowns coming back up hopefully soon. Drain, as he's just uninterruptible. Going to be full dots getting set up onto Residual as he goes in for Shadow Meld. Dark backed up for Tagsy. Tagsy could potentially go for big damage. Next, Mortal Coil with full pets could potentially be very deadly. Needs to make sure there's a UA on Residual. Definitely needs to have some sort of CC onto the rogue. There goes the Drain live with a Mortal Coil. Trying to get the full set of dots. Potentially could be the big go. Fake Tagsy just trying to get all the dots in the world. Soul Rod, the rogue can't really reconnect. He has a Cloak of Shadows, so he knows the rogue has himself a big go. Big Drain onto Residual. Does not cloak just yet. The Dark Blade getting used doesn't force the rogue's Cloak of Shadows. It doesn't. Residual trying to see if they can death charge over towards Fake Tagsy. Getting a shot to follow. Could potentially be a Succubus CC, but Tagsy just letting it stay. Residual not using a cloak for a while. Vanished, but still dotted up. Could potentially be in a bad spot. Might want to cloak right now. Cloak at the very last second. Oh no. Does the Incubus get over here fast enough? I'm looking around. Incubus? Oh, someone's swinging around the corner. Does find the rogue. How does it find the rogue? He's stealth just now. Blind on Tagsy, but that Incubus is not going to let you go anywhere. But that's slow. At least you can build comp points on that thing. Still in a deadly situation. You have a dot on you somehow. And Incubus, I think, tried to get a seduce on you, so that was an interrupt. Big Tagsy has a resolve streak and Mortal Coil into the rogue. I think it's over. Unless it just has like a way to Shadow Meld and Fleshcraft, I think it might be done with. Stun, Tagsy just gonna death bolt you down. Just put dots on you, just walk it away. Residual even knows it's over. My goodness. Tagsy just absolutely decimating these boys out of here. Dude, Affliction Warlock is nuts. If you haven't been playing Affliction, now is the time to do it. Now is the time. The return of the Affliction Warlock, boys. My goodness. Damn, they're so strong.